someone say something.
Hello, I'm Kevin.
Okay. I can still hear you.
Welcome to Miniatures Rundown.
All right. I think we're live. I think we're going.
Yeah, we are.
All right.
Hello.
Cody is still practicing technical difficulties. I'm going to open up this on my phone because, despite the fact that I plugged in my iPad ages ago, it's not charged.
I don't know. I know I can see the Cody's camera settings. That's really cool.
Well, I mean, Cody, just don't show your social security number that I know you keep in your camera. So.
That's the best place to keep your social security number.
Well, think about it. Who would ever look there? Who would ever look
it's
there?
true. I mean,
but hello, everybody. If you're joining us from the VODs or if you're joining there now, I see Slurry Dude. A model painter's never late, nor is he early. It all depends on how fast the paint dries. Hello to you, Kevin, and disembodied voice in the background. Yes, it is. We're doing a Thursday hobby hangout stream, and I am joined this week by Kevin and Cody.
hello.
Um,
I'm painting chorfs.
yes, so we've got Kevin on Chaos Dwarves, me on, well, I'm not sure, actually.
Oh, Lord, you haven't decided yet?
No, I mean, I kind of did. But oh, I just realized I'm going to have to redo my camera again because
I moved the Foursquare thing, so it's now.
This is live editing in progress, you see here.
We'll do it
This
live.
is...
We'll do it live.
pretty much.
There is no shame in this.
Yep.
Everyone's learning.
Move you over here. I mean, I could just move my hands, but, if the camera isn't
don't do
over the
that.
X,
I mean-
I'm going to have an aneurysm.
Look, I spent ones of minutes setting
Yeah.
my camera up.
Spent so much time doing this. So, we always say this, but I will say it again, which is that we are still working on getting this technically done. So, if you have any problems with audio or video, like if we're out of focus, or if something's broken, or if someone's too loud or too soft, please speak up. Shout
Yeah, let us know.
We are taking feedback and improvement. Hi, folks. You get to be
But
my
you have to do it
background
through
voice
text because we can't hear you.
for the rest of the workday. Yes. Meanwhile, my stupid left headphone, or my right headphone's not working. For reasons.
Josh, you need to check your equipment before it starts.
I did, and it did.
I don't know why I'm talking
then.
like that. Well, I don't know what to do about that then.
Okay, do you only hear me once now?
Yes.
I only hear you once.
Okay, good.
And I do not any longer see your camera settings, so that's good.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
Wait, no, I connected my.
and it's not in black and white.
I connected my.
Not Art Deco. It's not like noir anymore. It's Cody in full color. And I don't know what you're gonna paint, but whatever it is, it's not noir anymore. So
And maybe I should just do a whole video where we paint black and white and then the color at the end's a surprise.
oh, actually, that might be pretty sweet. Unless you're colorblind.
We don't have Mitchell with us because.
Well, then it's always a mystery.
We don't have Mitchell with us because he doesn't have a camera going. So Mitchell's part played by an OSHA 10 dude.
That's all I could find. Well, because I was painting hazard stripes last time.
Oh, that's true.
It,
Yeah.
it feels appropriate. Really? Right in front
Yeah,
of my
I agree with that.
handbook? All right, so I've got guard.
Nice. So you
and-
actually are going to settle on something for your guard then.
Yeah, we're being experimental today, or at least I am, in that I don't know what kind of guard scheme I want to do.
Okay.
What I'm going to try doing, so here's my logical process. Also, Daniel Jenna Grass says, hello, Daniel. Or Jenna, I always forget which one you prefer. My thought process is Steel Legion, which this is a Acadian who has been kitbashed with a Steel Legion head from Tiny Legend Studios.
Okay.
Steel Legion, their tunics are the British World War I tunic. Like, full stop. Not in color,
Right.
but in design. So I was like, what if I painted
style,
my
yeah.
guard to be British World War I colors?
Okay.
Because I have
That's
the
good.
Army
I think that's a
Painter
really cool idea. Yeah.
British historical set. And also, I'd rather not paint them as Germans.
That's fair.
Nothing against our German watchers and listeners.
No, but unfortunately, the gas mask look with the longish coat
yeah.
just doesn't.
Well, and their helmet is a Fallschirmjäger helmet, so it is the German paratrooper
That's
helmet.
true. Right.
Now, I'm not throwing any shade politically because right now I don't think I'd want to paint Americans either, but you know.
But yeah, I'm being completely non-creative here and going with the Forge Anathema for my Chorfs, which is
So
the
what
stock
scheme is
box
that?
art.
Box art?
This is the it's a box art, the burgundy with the dark brass and green flames and whatnot, and red gems.
I mean,
So
it looks great. Like, why?
it is a really cool scheme, which is why I picked it.
Yeah, like why? So when I posted the
That's all right. All I did was steal my Leagues of Votan color scheme and put it on my Chorfs.
I mean,
Hey, that's actually a really cool idea. I just didn't want to paint more red.
yeah, I can see that.
We need to get my. I finally got my hands on the Berserk character, and I gave him a proper beard.
I saw that
because I couldn't stand the fact that he had just mutton chops and no beard, so I had to give him a beard.
I forget what his name is.
Stormbrew.
Stormbrew.
Yeah.
Is that related to Ern?
No. but
Fortunately, the
so
Votan are a bit lacking in the beard department.
they are, and I have made it a mission to fix that where appropriate. Across my models. Thankfully, a lot of them have helmets that or armor that hides where a beard would be. You have to protect the beard. Beard armor is important. But I didn't. I tried to make that as apparent where I could to have a sculpted beard on. It's very subtle because I don't want their beards to be ridiculous like Warhammer Fantasy. Dwarves have really, really ridiculous beards, which is cool and it works for their aesthetic. But I didn't want to do that with the same thing with the Votan. So
I have just learned the hard way that my computer will only connect to one of my Bluetooth headphones at a time.
oh, that's interesting.
Stupid, because they're earbuds, and I mean they're really cheap. Duke Moosey says we got the other boys in Slap Chop Dry Brush Thursdays. I don't think I did the Slap Chop last time, or any time actually. I kind of got away from that. Nothing against it.
I did some Slap Chop the other day. I was painting some Skaven, and that's a really good
I mean, they're like the poster.
method to paint.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like they do not have to look clean. In fact, they're better when they don't look clean. So.
Talking about Germans, it's 1 a.m. over here. Oh my gosh, you are awake late. Well, thank you for joining.
Wow,
please
thank
don't
you.
Ruin your sleep schedule on our account, though.
Yeah, that's
sleep.
We're not gonna unless our dulcet tones put you to sleep, and that helps you.
In which case, I
am not
sorry. You're welcome.
I'm not a medical professional, so I cannot recommend my voice as a sleep aid. But you are welcome to try it as much as you like.
Okay. So
are you all sorted out over there? Oh god, I think we lost Josh.
No, I'm here. You hear me?
Oh, okay, I can hear you now. You cut out. At least
okay.
I think you cut out.
Well,
I heard it cut out.
My internet is not the greatest.
No, that's what happens when you have it powered by a hamster wheel. So
or Wi-Fi. So, not to be completely away from Necromunda, while I'm waiting for this guy to dry, I am going to be working on this gentleman right here. This was my converted champion. He was a chronomancer. That's why he has a watch.
I like it. I like it.
So I think, and I noticed the thing he's wearing is kind of like a lab coat thing. So I'm gonna give him like a white lab coat.
Okay.
And he's gonna be like Dr. Time.
But not Doctor Who.
No.
Okay. No scarf. Got it.
Good point. Understood. I need to yell at my European friends to go to sleep. I don't bother anymore. I figure my friends who have trouble sleeping know what they're about better than I do.
They are grown-ups. They can handle their own sleep. Or not. I mean, that's up to them.
Yeah. Also, I'd be a
sleep is optional.
Hypocrite. Well, not really.
It is for a period of time anyway.
Yes. The same way water is optional for a period of time. Unless you're the bad guy from the hit James Bond movie, Die Another Day.
Is that a hit movie?
No, it was the worst James Bond movie by a factor of like
That's what
4.
I thought that's not one of the good ones.
No.
I was pretty sure that was one of the bad ones.
That is probably, I would argue, the bad one.
There are a few.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
That's
Which
the
Bond
one-
was that?
What'd you say, Cody?
Which Bond was that?
Pierce Brosnan. It was the last Pierce Brosnan movie. It had Halle Berry in it.
Yeah, it was really.
Oh, is that the one with the helicopter with all the saws?
No, that was The World Is Not Enough.
Not a big Bond guy unless it's Bond for the N64, I guess.
Whereas I am
Classic millennial move there. Yes.
I mean, I would say I'm a Bond
Mhm,
fan,
mhm, mhm.
but I don't think I am because I realize that most of them aren't very good.
They are products of their time. I would say I do think that like I actually really like the Daniel Craig ones. I think those are really good.
Well, okay, depending on the movie, those range from pretty good to like legitimately really good.
Yeah.
Some of those aren't great either, honestly.
I mean, you're kind of getting what you like. It's doing what it says,
Yes.
and I thought that the one I can't remember the name of it now. The one with Javier Bardem in it as
Skyfall.
Jaws. But yeah, Skyfall. I thought Skyfall was really good.
Skyfall is probably the best. It's
I thought
hard
that
to,
one
it's
was
a
actually-
toss up between Skyfall and just Casino Royale as being the really good ones. But yeah, Skyfall was really good. Unfortunately, the one after that, Spectre, was nah.
Yes, that was okay. I mean, it was totally watchable.
The problem with them,
which-
it's kind of funny. They ended up having the same problem that the Star Wars sequels would years and years later, which is trying to make a cohesive narrative out of a series but not planning ahead of time.
Fair enough. Like Bond movies have always been kind of like a thing where they should just be allowed to just stand on their own and they don't
Yes.
need each other to support each other. And when it always does, it never really works out to try and tie those together just because the whole idea of a 00 agent is that they're kind of disposable.
You're right.
And you know,
Stupid ads keep ruining my comment watching. Favorite Bond intro song? Oh, geez, that's a really hard one. Because I love a lot of them.
Ooh.
Like, off the top of my head, it might be View to a Kill. Because that's just a Duran Duran song. Which means it slaps.
Yeah.
But, like, the Skyfall Bond
I don't know,
intro song is really good.
Skyfall one was really good. I do have a special place in my heart for the GoldenEye one.
Yes, Tina Turner, absolutely belting it.
Yeah.
That was
Yep.
my follow-up, like, possibly my favorite is Tina Turner and GoldenEye. That one loses a little points because it has absolutely nothing to do with the movie.
Nope, zero. It's just a good track.
It's just a song that slaps. Then again, I don't think View to a Kill does either, so. It's just Duran Duran being Duran Duran.
But yeah, all of the I've always appreciated how creative the Bond intros are. Like no matter what Bond movie it is, I've always really appreciated the intros and what they visually do to like kind of get you involved with the story, even if the story sucks.
Right.
And
Even if it's Octopussy.
right, like
The
it kind of gets you in the mood to like accept the premise without having to tell you a whole lot about it.
Right. It's a hype man,
Yeah.
and it works.
Forgot the burgundy on the dagger hilt there. I always hate batch painting because when I do, I inevitably forget one detail in one part of the batch, and then I have to go back and redo it. And it's one of those things with like, I've been trying to paint one model at a time, and unfortunately, I just can't get my hellsmiths done at that rate. And I'm trying to just get my 2,000 points done so I can move forward with other projects.
I'm over here bouncing back and forth to my screen so I can look up what a British World War I uniform looks like. British World War I uniform. Okay, so it's got that green on there. And all right, yeah. So unfortunately, it's kind of like, well, it's entirely brown.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah. Don't know if it'll be great.
I mean, I shouldn't laugh too much because I did the exact same thing with my Trench Crusade for I mailed them after World War One Polish Polish-Lithuanian soldiers, so I did the exact same thing.
So the hard part will be maintaining visual interest.
Correct. If you have it all brown, especially on all, like, even the all green, you can get away with without doing a whole lot with it. But all brown is just not visually interesting.
Brown is not an exciting color.
Which, to be fair, it makes it great for a modern combat uniform.
But that's not
probably
how...
shouldn't stand out too much. Right.
Right. That's not how 40K works.
No, we like bright reds and blues, and that's what I think is kind of funny about 11th edition is when they're one of the rules that they talked about was if you are in a terrain feature and you are you haven't fired in the previous turn, you are hidden.
Right.
And which I think is just hilarious when I'm thinking about like Imperial Fists, for instance, and just their bright yellow, just can't see me.
Yeah, just you see nothing. I mean, that was always the thing about Space Marines, though, right? It's like Raven Guard, Masters of Stealth.
Right. This noisy ass power armor.
Like, I mean, that just kind of implies that they just WD-40 the absolute bejesus out of their armor, right?
Or what's even funnier is if you could consider perhaps that maybe it's not that they were stealthy, it's just that they were stealthier than other Marines, which is still not very stealthy.
Right, yeah.
Like, they're the quietest symbol on the drum set.
but still a similar drum set.
Right.
Don't you have to also wear a high-vis belt in the modern military over the camo, right? So here's where you get into some creative licensing here, for example, which is that obviously I can do the British World War I uniform, but what do British World War I uniforms not have? Armor, right? Like
correct.
They have a flak jacket.
So you can add visual interest with that, adding a complementary color, or you could even get really cute with it and like go with kind of a I wouldn't stray too far from like being in this same neighborhood as brown, but what goes really well with brown is like a kind of purple, like a really dark purple or something like that. And or
was a pop color because now their helmets are going to be green, right?
Okay.
So that will help. And
yes.
the armor will either be that green, or it could also be the webbing beige that they use, the khaki that they use for their webbing.
Okay.
So a fair few options.
I like the tying it into the webbing. I think that would actually help your theme a lot more.
Well, the problem is they used both colors of webbing. so I need to make a decision. Because, like, depending on the time period and the era, and even just like what supply you got supplied from, their webbing was either this kind of khaki, which is what I'm trying right now, or it was more of a green.
Sure.
Which is why the Army Painter Historical set has both webbing khaki and webbing green.
I think I would go with khaki.
That's what I'm trying first.
Yeah, I think that's what I would go with.
Plus, they are also Steel Legionnaire inspired, so this webbing khaki is also kind of a callback to the Steel Legionnaire khaki yellow thing.
Ooh, good call.
So
I like
they kind of fit steel.
that. Right.
I do have some actual Steel Legion, but I'm painting them last. Which is ironic.
I
'Cause they're
have
metal
some
models.
somewhere as well. They are.
I mean, if you find them, maybe I should buy them off you.
That was back then. Do you care if you're? I might. Well, I'll see if I have them. I know they're somewhere in my basement.
Your prices can't be worse than Games Workshop made to order metal prices.
Where GW did not care. Like your heavy weapons were on.
Daniel's Kraus says, depending on the specific shade, you can treat brown as being somewhere in the vicinity of red through orange to yellow. I've always heard orange.
With two-man crew, it was on 225 bases.
Yeah.
No one cared.
No one gave a crap. Although I kind of picked up...
Because, they had to all fit into the Chimera. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. Kind of picked a poor guy to do this on because you can't see this guy's flak jacket.
Oh, well.
Because he's completely holding his rifle.
Can't mess up as much.
I guess it makes that easy.
That's the thing that I always like. I'm not sure if I feel bad for or envy the people who can paint all these models like this in sub-assemblies so they get at all those hidden parts. And that just, even just thinking about it drives me nuts.
I ain't got time for that.
But the dedication, yeah, right?
Yeah, I gave up on that a long time ago.
Like, I think it's really cool. And, when you pick up the individual models and look at them, you can tell. But, man, does it just not matter 95% of the time.
Right, that is the problem.
More.
I mean, that's definitely more of a competition piece thing to me.
Right.
Or like a big hero.
Which, yeah. Which competition painting is a whole nother beast.
Yeah.
And I have no interest in being a part of. I'd like to enter into Golden Demon someday, but I don't have any expectations of actually placing or winning anything.
Yeah, that's my next hurdle, and I'll be happy if I get a pin.
Right. Don't get me wrong. I love seeing what people put in the Golden Demon. I love seeing all the creative stuff people come out with. This year was really cool with the Festus on the giant leech on the
slime path.
Yeah, I thought that was really
cool.
That was probably my favorite. And don't get me wrong, the Slayer Sword winner did deserve it because that Lord Vordry was really well done. But
yes,
I like the creativity with the with Festus.
And I mean, you've run in judge painting competitions, so you know how that kind of thing goes, where you end up just having to like nitpick the heck out of things.
Yep, you just have to pick. Yep. I don't know if you remember, but years back there was that one year that skink won.
Yes.
And I remember overhearing a conversation about that, about how it was just a matter of they could not find a single flaw on the model.
Right.
And that's why it won.
And like, yeah, and eventually, and like, that was the year that they were disqualifying things for like weird random stuff, it felt like, but it was like they just had to break out, like they had to eliminate things.
Right.
And then the following year, person won that used AI art in their background.
I was correct on
that.
They that wasn't the Slayer Sword winner. That was a person who won one of the categories, but it wasn't the Slayer Sword winner.
Yeah, it was just a Golden Demon.
Yeah. And then to the credit, GW did immediately add something to the rules where you're not allowed to do that anymore.
That's fair.
I mean, that was right at that like cusp of when AI art started to become mainstream, and like no one really knew how to handle it. I mean, my profession before was not sure how to handle it either, and then, but yeah, and they added that rule, and that's okay. I'm good.
I mean-
I'm actually good with that.
Some of us absolutely knew how to handle it back then. So
Well,
we handle it now. Boot to the head.
yeah,
And to all my AI artists,
Oh,
I
I
leave
know.
my vast boot to the head. Boom.
yeah. It's just one of the things I really like about this hobby, though, and that like at least at the moment, is that we don't have robots that can paint the miniatures. So
No.
I'm sure in a few years I'm going to eat those words, but
Well,
at least at the moment.
not right now anyway.
Yep.
I got this color here, the darkness, which every time I see it, I think of that one D&D meme, I attack the darkness.
Oh, jeez.
I
That
cast
is so
magic missile at
old.
the darkness.
Josh,
I know,
that is so
that's
old.
literally older than me.
It is.
I know of that from a Dr. Demento CD I had. That's how old it is.
Wow. Wow.
Demento, Dr. Demento.
That is crazy. I am turning 40 in a couple of days, and that just barely sits on the cusp of my memory.
Look, I liked Weird Al as a kid, so my dad bought me like the 20th, 25th, and 30th anniversary CDs of Dr. Demento.
You know what? Good on you. Good on your dad for leaning into it. Good
Oh,
on
yeah.
him.
My parents were nothing.
Like,
if
and
not
I mean that in all I mean that in all sincerity.
He's probably like, well, at least it's not drugs, you know.
That's a good comment there about from Daniel Jen. Depending on the specific shade, you can treat brown as being somehow in the vicinity of red through orange to yellow. That's a really
Yeah.
that's actually a really good point.
I've
I
always
like that
heard
idea
orange.
quite a bit. Yes.
But that is the nice thing about brown is that brown doesn't have to be brown; it can be brown with a tint, right?
Correct. Yes. Brown is really weird in that where like the place where it occupies on the color wheel is in like it's so muddled, and I don't mean that in a pun way, but in like the middle of the color wheel in between brights like cool and warm colors. So like you can do a lot. It's actually really versatile, and you can do a lot with that. Like I was talking about earlier with purple, is that you can complement really well with a really dark purple with brown for similar reasons, just because of color wheel nonsense.
Yeah, I feel weird saying it, but I actually really like painting with browns and grays because they are so. They can be so much. Gray is very much,
And
the
they're
same
very
way,
forgiving.
Where yeah, they're very forgiving.
Mhm.
Gray doesn't have to be flat gray. Flat gray is boring as hell. But you can have green gray and red
Right.
gray and brown gray and
Well, and the really cool thing about gray is it takes so well to shade, and
Yes.
you can do all kinds of really cool stuff with it in recesses or in the highlights to make it really, you can transform the color really effectively by just changing how you highlight and how you shade it. And then the base color really does change to like adapt to those highlights and shades.
right. So
Yeah, I'll usually use a really dark, warm brown to base coat a dark red
that makes sense.
Yeah, I like that.
Undercoating's another
that
story
I'm
entirely.
trying to highlight up from. Yeah,
It's one of my favorite
gives it
things
a really good, warm, dark shadow.
Hmm.
one of the favorite things to prime in is red brown. Which certainly looks
Oh,
more
okay.
red
I've
than
noticed that
brown,
with your models. Yeah.
because it's a great base for everything.
my preference has always been gray, but I've started leaning back into black for my priming, and um, partly as a challenge to myself for trying to get good coverage on brighter colors and trying to like more practice being able to exercise patience with going over with multiple coats to get brighter colors on black.
Mm.
So I've been doing that just kind of to challenge myself quite a bit.
See, that sounds like
And
a path to madness to
sometimes
me, but
it kind of is. But I have learned how to do like yellow over black,
oh my god.
and it's taught me a lot about those colors and how they behave. Um, kind of what I was doing with my Iron Warriors when I'm doing the hazard stripes. Learning to do those yellows and oranges over a black background. And yeah, it is maddening.
Well,
You
you
have
heard
to
it here first.
exercise a lot of.
You heard it here first, folks. Kevin's mad. Kevin is absolutely bonkers. We've lost him.
Lost me to the yellow.
Yeah, the yellow,
king in yellow.
yellow hazard stripes over black. That's a phrase. That's a trigger phrase that just makes me go feral.
But I have found that it does produce a really, really rich yellow that I'm very, very happy with. Not to say that that's not the only way to get that tone, because it certainly is not, and it's probably not the easiest way to get that tone. But I when I sit back and I look at a perfectly yellow hazard stripe on a black prime model, I feel accomplished.
I mean, yeah.
And that's just me being nuts.
Yeah, I'm
too.
still just a big fan of the pink
Yep.
undercoat for yellow.
Yeah, that's a really great trick to do that. When I heard that for the first time, I was like, "There's no way," and then I tried it, and it actually works out really well.
Yeah.
It sounds like one of those things like when your cousin tells you like where the secret whistle is hidden in Super Mario 3, and there's like no effing way it's there, and
Right.
then you do it, and it's like, oh. I feel dumb for not believing him.
I played Super Mario 3 in an age.
But it's the same cousin that told you a bunch of other lies on Mario.
That's true.
So
Yes. Yes.
Justified.
Same cousin who told you that, yeah, his uncle works for Nintendo, so...
Now I just have to wait for these washes to dry. Might do some... This is Warp Block Bronze. This is one of my favorite colors from Citadel, is Warp Block Bronze. I really, really
Oh, you
like
mean
it.
Warhammer Color.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, my apologies. Warhammer Color.
Come on, Kevin, get with the program.
I am sorry, everybody. I fumbled that one.
You're
Now,
ruining our chance
what's
at a
funny though is that
sponsorship.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
That we
that's what's
definitely
going to
still
ruin it. And I think this color used to actually be 10 bits. I think that was what this color was before that.
Yes.
Which was but anyway, what's funny is that aren't the models still Citadel models?
Oh, yeah. They haven't gotten there yet.
I think they're getting rid of that branding too.
Think so?
Well, let me. I just bought a model the other day. Hold on.
It's actually kind of been a hot minute since I bought a Warhammer model. That'll
Oh,
change
not me. Daughters of
upcoming
Cain just
here
came
very
out,
shortly.
That's true.
To be clear.
Nope, Kevin's right. Citadel's still on there.
They're still keeping that branding.
The suit hasn't noticed that yet.
It's like nobody's
started-
reading the back of the box. We don't need to worry about that yet.
It's more of a probably a equation of how much it would cost to change that branding and what you'd have to pay somebody to edit that file for every box.
Yeah.
And that's probably coming with 11th edition. So
True.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna pick a different.
look, I used to work in
model.
marketing. How this works.
Well, I just like how their new Games Workshop logo is just basic font. There's no color or excitement there.
So what's funny about that is that is actually a callback to their very first logo, which is interesting.
Really?
Yes. It's because the yellow and red logo that we remember is that it actually came after a very plain text logo.
My uncle works. Sorry, come out this comment. My uncle works at Nintendo, and the yellow Switch lights actually start off pink. I am now committing that. You know what? I'm going to make that part of my bit, just like that. I'm going to insist that's true now to everyone who asks.
But yeah, the whole like unifying the quote unquote brands, even though they were all part of the same thing, really started with the whole Forge World being now the expert level kits.
Yeah. Forge World was the
being
first to
branded
die.
to Yep. Which
Forge World-
I do have fond memories of the Forge World website and of browsing it as a teenager with zero money
Going
and
salivating.
just thirsting after these things that I've only ever seen like on in like grainy JPEGs on the internet on forums. That's dating me quite a bit, just saying forums.
Yeah, remember forums?
No, nobody does.
I remember many late night when I was a teenager, or I say teenager, I was in college with I should have been doing homework, but spending it on Daka, arguing with internet people about fourth edition 40K rules. That was a waste of time. So pro tip, don't do that because you'll just ignore your English assignment and then have to write it in 8 hours before it needs to be turned in. Always turns out that turned out well for me, by the way.
That reminds me.
That's when I do my best work.
I should get to my welding homework one of these nights.
What does welding homework look like?
There is an entire, among many other things. So the first unit was safety. Things like
Makes sense.
Don't pressurize the acetylene tank above 15 psi. You idiot. You absolute idiot. Don't do that. You will die. Things like the part I'm struggling with is symbols. So because when somebody hands you a sheet, there's of like what you need to weld. There's all these symbols on there of like, okay, so does this weld supposed to penetrate all the way through? Do you weld both sides? One side? What kind of weld? What kind of thing do you use? Blah 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 blah. And it's all symbols based, so it's international.
Okay, yeah.
And it makes my brain hurt.
So you should have paid more attention with Kill Team, is what you're saying.
Shape-based economy.
But I'm just saying, like, you know, if you and thousands of other people would have just like buckled down and learned your shapes, they wouldn't have had to go back to numbers. So.
Yeah, but then his instructor is going to go inspect his work, and there's just going to be a bunch of tokens that signify +1 to hit and stuff like that all over his project.
I thought you were supposed to move this weld 2 inches up. I didn't understand. It just it's a square.
Look, I rolled the d6, and it says the weld goes here. All right.
Well, it had accurate too, so my weld automatically welds twice. Yeah.
I didn't even have to roll. See, Josh, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna do just fine.
Oh, I'll get over it. I just hate it for now.
That makes sense. It's like when I was in school, I went to school for art, but part of my requirements were that I had to take physics. Ew. Now, to give you an idea of how adept I am at any kind of mathematics is when I got to college, I tested into remedial algebra. So, um, not exactly great at math.
Man, I took discrete math so I wouldn't have to take physics.
Oh,
That's how much I hated physics.
physics was rough. My professor had a lot of sympathy for me because she knew why I was there. She knew I was there because the program makes me take physics, and so I had a lot of help and a lot of mercy. So because she knew I wasn't designing rockets to go to the moon anytime soon, so I was just there so I could put shapes into Adobe InDesign, and for some reason I needed physics for that. So we knew the score.
Look, it's very important that you knew how everything behaved in a frictionless vacuum.
Well, and tell you what, learned a lot about. And then the end of that physics unit was like theoretical physics, like an intro to theoretical physics, and like up quarks, down quarks, and all that stuff. And I literally know nothing else beyond that. Like that literally just went into my brain and exited, except for up quark and down quark. So,
I don't even know what that
um,
means, so you're beyond me.
nope. And I only know those are things that exist. I don't know what it means. I just know that it's a thing that exists. It's a concept that's out there in the ether somewhere. So, yeah, please don't ask me for a definition because I cannot help you.
If I try welding this way, will I die?
Perhaps.
Will my lungs liquefy? Certain things, yeah. You have to generally really mess up to do that.
Challenge accepted.
So I'm.
Though I have
Oh, my
got
lungs.
ouch, my lungs.
Ow, no, I drank lung liquefy juice. Ow, oof, ow, my lungs.
It's a very specific juice. It's funny that if you drink it, that it goes down your esophagus. It wouldn't go to your lungs. Wouldn't you have to breathe it in? Like, wouldn't it have to be a vapor?
No, it activates the lung liquefy genes.
Oh, got it. All right, Matt. I'm
Didn't
stupid
you
for even
watch
asking that
No
question.
Time to Die with the nanobots? That definitely wasn't
Kevin, we
them.
get it. You went to physics class. You know how lungs work.
Oh, what's the old joke from Giant Spider Invasion? Well, I used to take physics, but now I find that prunes do the better job.
Yeah, I can't. What's really funny too is that for my physics lab, so my wife went to another school, and she was actually in a science program.
Your wife, who's
and
actually an actual scientist.
yeah, she's an actual scientist. Yeah, and she had the same physics lab professor as I did because he would come over and moonlight at my school. And so what was funny is that in her lab he was super super strict, and in my lab it was like as long as there were marks on paper you probably passed. and, and I would tell her about it because we were dating at the time, and
And she's like, hey,
I would
wait,
tell
what
her
the
about
hell?
it, and she would get so pissed off that he would have like the 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 s- the, s- the rigidity of his class was so much different between the two schools.
Uh, up,
Sorry, I'm
down.
just still laughing at the my wife. She goes to another school. You wouldn't know her.
My wife from Canada.
I swear. She wrote me an email once.
Her name is Alberta. She lives in Vancouver. She cooks like a weather, and I don't want to get demonetized.
Ah, it's okay.
Up, down.
Money's imaginary.
Up, down, charm, strange, top, bottom, quarks. I don't know what any of that means, Daniel.
Oh, please,
Well,
chat,
he
do
just
not.
unlocked God mode.
Yeah.
Chat just moved me to an adjacent universe accidentally.
Jenna's
or
over
on
there entering the
purpose.
Konami
And-
code. Hey, look,
I
you
had
say
totally forgotten that strange quirks were a thing.
You say monetary is imaginary, but I need the stream to do well so I can convince Mark to, so I can sign a timesheet for it.
Oh, that's fair. That's a really good point.
I mean, because as it currently stands, the main reason I'm doing this is because it makes me paint. Which is
Get a couple bucks.
we got let me see, painted circle. I'm just gonna 5288 evening, guys. Anyone working on any new terrain pieces? I have new terrain pieces. I'll go get one to show you. Although I am not currently working on them, mostly because I don't think I can fit it on camera.
I actually have done a new terrain piece recently. I'll go get it.
So the terrain pieces I have, paint hands. Is that you saying we have paint in our hands, or are you telling me to paint the hands? The terrain piece I'm working on is this thing. This is from the Vexed Village by a guy named Jolly Lark on my mini factory. Not really fitting in camera, but I love it because it's this weirdly off-kilter little building, and it's going to be great for everything because I could use this for everything from Warhammer to Quar to Necromunda even. I mean, kind of a stretch for Necromunda, but you could say out in the ash waste some weirdo built some weird buildings. It would be fine. Or are you telling me to paint Manos the
There's
Hands
no
of Fate?
paint on my hands. It's paint on my gloves.
Black glove, your camera is a little unfocused. Cody, I think that's you. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I need more paint.
It's autofocusing.
So for terrain, I've been working on. I got these STLs.
Where the hell
I can't remember the name of the creator, but it's called Sunless Lands, and so it's kind of like a Giger-like. And I've been doing these up for an OBR themed table because it kind of has that CS look to it, but yet kind of like ancient ruins. So.
Oh, so like for your Bone Reapers?
Yeah. So just kind of doing a table themed up for my Bone Reaper for the Bone Reapers. So I just kind of give a variety of not the same old usual ruins that you typically see. So I've been printing those up and painting those.
I've still got my flipping, because I sold all my other Bone Reapers, but I still have the terrain piece for some reason.
Oh really?
Yeah. Don't know why.
It's actually useful now.
Yeah, and it's a fun terrain piece. I think I just wanted to paint it, but I should
It
probably
is.
sell that online somewhere because I have no intention of buying Bone Boys.
You could probably at least get your money back for it because you still can't get it from G-Dub.
Oh, are they out of stock?
I think so.
Or is it gone? Because there's no way it's gone, right?
It's not gone. I just think it's out of stock.
Yeah, well, with 11th edition coming, they probably, full steam ahead on...
I'm wondering if my feed is frozen because I haven't seen.
Go ahead and move your camera around. Move your hands around. Are you moving around?
Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle.
Jiggle again.
I think your feed is frozen.
You are frozen on Discord.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay.
So, or the really
Let me see what I can do about that.
Picking you up. Here, I'm gonna close it and then pop you out again.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's not even connecting your video. Now that could be me, could be you.
It's showing my video is working on my Discord here, but that doesn't mean anything.
Second. Not that one. Okay. Sorry, folks. I'm popping out the video there. Stop stream. Okay. Can you say something, Kevin and Cody?
Hello, I'm here.
All right, Cody.
Hello, I am here.
Okay. Kevin, move your hand around in front of your camera.
Boop 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 boop.
Okay, then you're back. All right.
Okay.
So that seems like that was actually a problem on my end.
Oh, okay.
So. Yep, I was waiting. You just got cut.
And I was showing off my terrain and everything, and then it was just.
Sorry. Yeah, I was like, why is he?
Yeah,
I mean,
you know
he's
what?
saying that he's showing this stuff off, but it's not doing anything. Jeez, Kevin.
It's just a pantomiming. We're imagining.
We're just gaslighting.
Imagine with me.
Okay.
Let's see. Just gonna do more armor on this old boy here.
Okay. Should be back now. Painting my Canadians.
All right. Yeah, I just kind of. I really want a hell train for my hellsmiths.
Is that the name of their train thingy?
I'm really. No, they don't have a terrain thing.
Train
Like
thingy,
they
sorry.
didn't get Oh no, I don't think it hasn't. Like I can't remember what it's called in Total War, but they don't have a proper terrain feature in Age of Sigmar yet, nor do they have their own manifestations. So
I'll give them a year or two.
yeah, you know, next edition, which is only next year.
Yeah.
We're on 3-year cycles.
That is
It's really
not-
good. It's fine. It's fine.
No, it's not. Narrator's note is not fine.
Josh did not like that.
Yeah. Little pop up in the bottom right. We should get that as a stream emote.
I think that'd be fun.
Just one for each of us. Josh didn't like that. Kevin didn't like that. Cody didn't like that.
We'd be using the Kevin didn't like by that one quite a bit.
Every time an elf appears on screen.
Just didn't like that. Didn't like that. But I really like the sticker that you showed me. I really need to get one
Oh,
of those.
Grungy says it's my turn to beat your ass.
Yeah.
I don't know where I found it either, and it wasn't like, but it's gotta be a real sticker somewhere.
I mean, it looked like it looked like it was on like somebody's like gaming top or
Yeah, and it was just posted
or
on a
something
meme,
like that.
like
So-
as a meme on a server I was on or something. I'll have to make our own version, except it's Kevin. Small dwarf Kevin.
I will pose shirtless for that sticker.
Well, that's between you and Cody, because he's the artist, so.
Okay, fair enough.
Cody's like, I mean, I
Hey,
appreciate
Kevin's
the-
also an artist.
That's right. I am
true.
officially
I
an
kinda forgot
artist.
about
I have a degree that says so.
He
So
can
you're the
he
one I
can
should
draw
be
himself
bothering.
in the mirror.
I can
last
draw
time I asked-
myself shirtless. Thank you very much.
Last time I asked you to do art, you said I couldn't afford to.
Yeah,
do it,
I don't
so-
actually know what your medium is, so
So I was
Miniatures
my
mostly.
degree is in computer graphics. Yeah, yeah. It's really just miniatures is actually my medium. But I computer graphics is my degree.
You are the
do you
embodiment
do like
of
drawing and stuff like that, or
What Josh said something stupid and Cody said something smart. So Cody, repeat what you said.
Sorry.
I said do you like draw or just like
All the
do
above.
graphics?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Vector graphics. I do raster graphics. I do 3D stuff. I learned how to do all of that, and I used almost none of it in my professional career. So that was cool. But yeah,
I have some friends that would go to school for that, and they dropped out because I quickly learned that it wasn't going to be a lot of drawing. It was going to be a lot of just kind of plain design.
So yeah, and that's kind of the thing with computer graphics is that you'll end up with a lot of that kind of thing where it's because it's very, unlike a traditional art degree where you're doing a lot of drawing, and you'll do drawing and painting as kind of a supplement to those things because all those concepts do work together. But the actual like computer graphics part of it, it's a lot of it's really technical, and I mean, as you know, you do a lot of stuff too. And so like there's a lot, it's a lot more, I don't want to say disciplined is what I'm looking for, but I guess that's the word I'm going to use. Because art.
No, I
mean,
definitely get that. I definitely get that.
Yeah.
Sorry, quick comment real quick. Painted Circle says, did y'all see the new
Yeah.
Apocalypse today? Rules for vehicle race tournaments? Oh, did I?
Yes.
Immediately saw that and posted it in our Necromunda chat, and I was like, so we're doing this next, right? Because Josh is interested.
Yeah,
That sounds
we're
really
already
cool.
scheming. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah, we are. Schemes are, and I think someone on our Discord pointed out, it's like, I love when they just drop random crap like this that's like world-changing and with no announcement.
Right.
Oh, yeah, here's like one of the coolest things we've ever done. In BD,
Well, that's kind of the fun thing with the side game, quote unquote side games that or I guess special games is what they call them, is that they can just do stuff like that where no one had to really like check it at the
Right.
door. It could just go out
it might be broke as hell, doesn't
because
matter.
right, whatever. It's Necromunda. That crowd is crazy anyway. So
And we'll eat it up, and we will.
is it broken? I don't know. Maybe. Who cares?
So yeah, we are. Schemes are already in motion for that one. I'm already like, oh boy, yeah. Thinking of that vehicle that I kind of built but never finished and painted. That might be the next thing I paint on stream because I got to dig that out and finish kit bashing it.
Might give me I have to read through it, but it might give me some more reason to go through and get my dwarf bikes painted up, the trikes.
Yeah. Another conversion I've got here. This is a Gene Stealer. I forget his name, but he's the doctor guy that Gene Stealers have.
Oh, the Biologus?
Yeah, I gave him a chainsword and I guess he's holding a blood pack.
Nice.
I wasn't even using him as a medic. I was just using him as a hive scum.
He's ready to do some amateur surgery. It's fine.
And I believe his head, because that's not the Gene Stealer cult's head, because the Gene Stealer cult's head is more sinister. I believe that head is from the Empire Luminarch kit.
Ooh.
Like
Oh, deep dive.
Goggles, yeah. Because it just looks like a guy who just kind of doesn't want to be here.
Well, no one really wants to be Necromunda.
No. Maybe Helmore. He seems to be having a pretty good time.
Well,
now that he's no
I guess
longer
he's an
in a
exception.
state of death, mild death,
right?
he got better.
To be fair, even being Upper Spire Necromunda citizenry is probably still pretty awful. I mean, you're still at a similar percentage chance of getting stabbed in the back.
Yeah,
every
just by
given moment. So,
by someone wearing a cleaner suit.
Right.
Yeah, like Helmore may just decide
At least in the
your ass dead.
Right. And like, at least if you're nobody in the Underhive, like then nobody pays attention to you. I mean, you're probably gonna You're probably gonna starve to death and/or get eaten by some kind of sump monster. But
or both at the same time.
Or yeah.
Your last stream, we were talking about the new expansion. I was talking about the skull, but the next day I was thinking a Gorka Morka style ash waste with skull exploration. That sounds like more than they would do. But I don't know. I could definitely see a pretty solid argument for going back to the skull one of these days. Because it would give them more models to release and more things to sell. Even if I don't personally want Necromunda orcs. Necro-orca.
But an orc would have a great time in Necromunda.
Oh yeah, he'd have the best time.
I can't remember if it was a conversation I had with you guys or with somebody else, but like, man, if I had to pick somebody to be in the 41st Millennium, it would definitely be an orc.
They're the only ones not having a terrible time.
Right. I mean, they are having a terrible time, but they don't see it that way.
No. Like, I mean, it's all relative. They don't, yeah.
Yeah. Like, they're doing pretty bad, too. It's just they like it.
And, like, if you're a Votan guy in the inner civilian things, you're probably having an okay time.
That's probably true.
If you're a Tau civilian, you're probably having an okay time, whether you want to or not.
You're
Yeah,
going to
like
be
with most
convinced.
universes, it really just depends on where you're born, whether you're having a good time or not.
Fair enough. Can't argue with that.
Granted, there are some places where you're just like,
Like-
no Drukari is having a good time, by definition.
No, that's kind of the
Right.
whole point of their society.
Yeah, like, if you're having a good time, Slanesh comes for you.
But like everybody can say that they want to be a Jedi in Star Wars, but like, what if you're not born a Jedi? What if you're born just a random guy in the lower levels of Coruscant or something like that?
And you know what? Having Jedi powers sounds awesome, but it probably actually really sucks. Like, it's probably not just a great life to have.
I mean,
Like,
there's
you're
a
always having
reason-
to deal with somebody else's problems.
There's a reason all the media focuses on the people who aren't following the code very well, because if you're following the code, you're actually just a really boring monk.
Right. Like, you have all these powers, but you can't use them for fun stuff.
Right. Exodites get to eat dinosaur steaks. It is
True.
true. Exodites are probably having a pretty good time.
That's, fair enough. Yeah.
Unless you're an Exodite who gets eaten by a dinosaur. Like,
Well, then that just means that you just, Darwin Award right there. Like,
I don't know.
I don't know. You're one of the most advanced species in the universe, and you're going to, I
Get
mean,
eaten by the most primitive species in the universe?
you know what? It's fine. It's an elf, so like it makes sense. It checks out. Never mind. I take back what I said.
Kevin's just like, yeah, that tracks.
It probably has to do with their hubris. That's why they got eaten. Actually, I'm fine with it. It works. Let them all get eaten. It's fine.
Yeah, 90% of Exodite deaths are the elf going, you can't eat me. Wait, you can't.
Yeah, I read it was the first of the Plague War novels, and they were talking about life on an agri world, and the how it's advertised versus how it is actually to live on an agri world. And I thought it was a really interesting thing because like all of the propaganda, all the imperial propaganda around an agri world is that, you're working the farm, you're having a good time, and there's all these, young lusty lads and ladies all around you all the time, and you're just having a good time working the fields, providing for the Imperium. And what it really is it's you sitting in like a tower with like just the most monotonous, like minding the harvesting servitors, and just the most mind-numbing work you can possibly imagine.
Yeah. The steaks taste like Frank.
Like even even the noise on it, like agri worlds are so like terraformed that they're basically flat all around, which of course, like geologically speaking, doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's whatever. It's Black Library.
Yeah.
But but because of that, like the wind is so constant and droning and monotonous that it like will drive you insane.
Let me see. Orcs, the only ones with real hobbies. Yep. Jedi are very boring monk cops. Yep. I would argue that workers on pleasure planets are probably having the best time. We know a person who used to work at some really, really high-class ski resorts. And so I know that's not true. Because I know what the people who work at those kind of places actually go through, and no, they're not having a good time.
Oh man. Yeah, man, I can just only imagine what it would be like to deal with, like, we deal with snotty people here on Earth, but like what that would be like with people that have like the power to, cut off 1 million people from food at any given point in time.
I'll tell
Wait,
you
is
what.
that all that different?
Let me go on Twitter and ask a Russian person.
Can say we're getting a little realistic with this one.
I know. As I was talking, I'm like, wait, never mind.
Subject change.
Are we just
Oh,
living in very early Horus Heresy?
look, except we're missing out on power armor.
Yeah, where's my power armor?
I could forgive a lot if I had a suit of power armor.
If we all just had suits of power armor, that would make the world a better place. Don't at me. I know this to be true in my heart of hearts. What color is Commando green?
Power armor can solve a lot of problems.
It definitely would. It definitely make me a lot more confident in my day-to-day life. I could be that used car salesman that I've always dreamed of being. Who would say no to my terms and conditions?
Someone else wearing
If I
power
was
armor.
12 foot tall. Well, they don't have it. That's the thing. Power armor's only fun if I'm the only one who has it.
Oh no, we're getting too real again.
This is my power fantasy. Get out of here.
Look, Kevin, the 42nd Amendment guarantees the right for all people to have power armor.
I just think the used car salesman that slaps the roof and then you're doing it power armor and you have to
Dents it.
every car.
Hey, look, if it stands up to that, though,
Yeah,
you've got a quality vehicle on the lot.
God, you know what? I bet there are used car salesmen in Necromunda.
Oh, for sure. One hundo, there's somebody hawking some, like, broken down speeder, and they're trying to get you to sign a lease on it, and with some kind of, like, dystopian APR that we probably would see today.
And that's when you take it to the Necromunda races to pay it off.
Yeah.
Oh, see? It all comes full circle.
Relevant. Yep. Full circle.
Good job, Cody. Good job. You brought it back.
I need to grab one of our laser... Okay, so now I know that for our Necromunda terrain, we need to grab one of those lasercraft billboards and have a, like, you know, used car salesman.
Yes.
For only 2 credits down, you can walk away with the vehicle of your dreams.
Use,
Yeah, so you just
wait,
put out an egregious loan, and then if you win, you pay it off. If you don't, you probably explode and die anyway, so...
Rocket Reggie's gently used rigs.
Nice.
We have to get through the Men of Stone and Gold before power armor, but not Night Titans, yeah. Now I have the image of a Necromunda car dealership with the most sleazy businessman running it. It's the most sleazy businessman, and, like... Yeah. Definitely.
He's definitely got like an Ogren bodyguard or something. You couldn't have that business without some kind of really like awful muscle backing you up.
And he's like, well, you know, you want to buy from me? Do you want to go across the street? And he goes across the street, and it's a Delac dealership, and they're just like staring at you.
That would be awful because, like, depending on the Delac, they could just read your mind, and that would be that would not help you in negotiations for terms. I would tell you that right now.
We know which car you want. We have seen.
We
it.
know what you can
the
afford.
The dealer's got to be a ratling who looks like Danny DeVito from Matilda.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mitchell,
And then he's got his Ogren bodyguard.
Yeah. No, the Ogren is Mrs. Trenchbull.
There you go. Miss Trenchbull.
Mitchell MRD, no idea who that is, says, looks like we're going to need some names for who is who. Yes, we'll need some image names to put in the corners of our little screens.
Oh, yeah, that's smart. I didn't think of that.
Yep.
That's fine.
Always room for improvement. Next time.
Next
maybe.
terrain idea. Oh, yeah.
No
definitely.
promises.
All right. So, I don't know if it's because I haven't finished yet, so I'm going to finish him, but I'm not loving the way the webbing khaki is looking.
Okay.
But I need to... Let's get some more coats on and actually do the other stuff, because maybe it'll come together at the end.
Yeah, sometimes like, and this is something that I run into often is the ugly model phase,
Yeah.
where you don't think it's coming together, and then once you put the finishing touches on, you realize you were wrong. I run into that a lot.
Oh, geez, what is that? That's a chunk of paint. Okay.
Yeah, just getting some more of this. I really like how this Rune Lord brass and this uh uh other color, the Warplock bronze, go together. Like they're in the same neighborhood, but they're just like they're different enough that it creates just enough contrast, and I really like that. This Forge Anathema scheme was a really good color scheme.
Yeah, it's definitely there's a reason they went for that for the box art.
Right. I do like that. Well, I don't know if I like it, but the funny juxtaposition of the lore behind these weapons here and the complete ineptness in which they function on the battlefield.
Oh,
Like
they're not very good.
these, no, they're not. They're very, very average. Like these spears, like they have these little pods that are right before the spearhead here, and those are supposed to be like reservoirs of demonic power. And in the lore and stuff, it's described that like the more that you use the weapon, it gets really, really hot, like it can burn you and whatnot. And no, they just wound on fours with no rend. It's fine.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like the Lumineth thing, where it's like Lumineth sun metal, brightly made
Yep.
metal from Hish, which wounds on a 6, and then like, well, but the Cruel Boys rubbed some poop on theirs, so
You're
same
right.
thing, really. Like, this is the same. Corporate wants to find you the difference. This is the same picture. So I tried the webbing green on this guy, which I like the look of better, but then I realized I'm just doing the Cadian color scheme, but in a desaturated tone.
Okay.
Because it's just green
I
and
mean,
khaki. Granted,
right.
a much darker
Yeah.
khaki and a much different green, but it's just green and khaki. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, because the Cadian color scheme is the color scheme of the Guard for a reason. It works, right?
Right. It is very, very functional. As functional as any kind of armor in 40k is.
Right.
Aesthetically
It's
speaking.
visually
I mean,
functional.
yeah. Let's say. I mean, Terminator armor works pretty well, even if you can't turn your head. It's fine.
Yeah, just don't think about it.
You have sensors. I mean, that's how you solve a lot of lore problems, no matter what franchise you're talking about. Don't think about it.
But especially 40k.
Yeah, especially 40k.
Like in 40k, that's not a suggestion. That's just a, like,
Right.
you want to have fun with this, then just...
Like, do lasguns have recoil? Sometimes.
Depends on who's asking.
Should they? Probably not. Does it matter? Not at all. Not at all. I do always think it's funny how it's one of my favorite things about Necromunda is that even though like 99.9% of everything is just a bunch of homeless dudes beating each other with trash, it is like there are just these hidden like relics that are from a time long gone that are just beyond anyone's understanding, and they're in the hands of these gang leaders that definitely do not know how they work.
Right.
But they do, to terrifying effect.
It's like how one of the articles was like, even the most seasoned, hardened ganger would get their ass absolutely whooped by a regular guardsman.
Right.
Like if you put
because
them
that's
on
a funny thing is that is that the Astra Militarum, the part of the Imperial Guard that like travels around and fights wars, they're the elite.
Yeah.
Like they're outnumbered by the teeming masses of PDF forces who are literally just kids handed las guns.
Right. And like, yeah, if your best house ganger or lot ganger with a las cannon threw down with just your basic guardsman with a las gun, he's going to be dead before he even knows what's happening.
Right.
Because as
Which
tough
I think
as
is
the
a fun
ganger
thing to.
yeah.
It's just a fun thought experiment because it's like, yeah, but the guardsman has, probably several battles under his belt and tactics. He's been trained. He's, the ganger, for all intents and purposes, like, if you think about even the game mechanics, like, you get hit, you go down regardless of what happens. Like if you get wounded or not, if you get hit, even if it's just like a wing shot or whatever, like lore wise speaking, you're going down, and then you're out until you get back up and like kind of recover your wits.
Right.
Which, to be fair, that would be me, because it wouldn't be me. If I was a Necromunda, I would just be like peeing in the corner before like anyone like with like, no, please, take the stub gun away from me. I do not want it. I have to fight what? No. Just shoot me now.
Jenna says, I'm pretty sure in theory you could have a light bulb bright enough to have recoil. Yes, you could, in theory. Oh, no, God, we're on physics again. No physics. This is a physics-free chat. Can we get that as an emote too? No physics.
I regret bringing that up now. I deeply, deeply regret it. I also had to take chemistry as a part of my degree, and that was extraordinarily frustrating for my wife than girlfriend, because he was a biochem major, and my homework was, and the things that I had problems with, she found very funny. And it's okay, because she can't draw a stick figure, so.
Which is funny, because she's a really good painter.
She is. It took a long time. And it's because I helped teach her how to paint and everything. And a big part of it is that painting, I've taught a few people how to paint over the years. And a big part of it is that it's really just a process. It's not, you don't need to have a whole lot of, or really any artistic ability to paint a miniature that looks really good. No. It's just understanding how the material works, how the medium works, and how it all works together. And it's something that anybody can do. And I very strongly believe that. It's kind of like Bob Ross. Anybody can paint. I believe anybody can paint a miniature.
I agree.
I mean, if I can do it. Lasgun's driving recoil. No, I'm not reading comments about Lasgun recoil. I refuse. You can't make me.
You know what? I'm going to. Never mind. This pissed Josh off, so I'm going to read it.
Oh, fine.
So,
you do that.
Yeah. Depends on what they are shooting versus actually lasers and not some other sci-fi nonsense. Yeah, that's a good point. And like, I'm pretty sure that it is like, in all of the best descriptions I have seen of las weapons is that they are laser weapons, and not like blasters, where blasters are more like a kind of a particle gun. Like, from, Star Wars blasters are more of a particle gun, or a plasma gun, I guess. In another way, depends on how you think about it. But regardless,
it's superheated gas.
In 40K, right? And in 40K, it's the best descriptions have always been that las guns are lasers, like very, very specifically called out as laser weapons. And of course, in those same descriptions, some of them have recoil and some of them don't. It kind of depends on the author. It's once again, it's that whole problem of how good is a Marine, and it depends on who's writing it. If you've read any of the Horus Heresy stuff, it's really funny to see how deadly Marines are sometimes, or other times how they just fall by the hundred. And part of that is because in Horus Heresy, it's marine on marine action, and they were never really trained for that. So the brutality of that fighting was really, really awful, because they were never really meant to fight each other. So, but anyway, that's a whole nother tangent. Makes me want to paint my Iron Warriors now.
I'm going to go with what Daniel says, which is Lasgun recoil is haptic feedback. It's just them going pew 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 and like moving it themselves.
You know what?
Why are you
I buy
shaking
it.
your gun? Because it looks fucking cool.
It's got a counterweight in there. It's like an airsoft gun. You know how the airsoft guns have like counterweights to give them recoil when they don't actually have any.
Yep.
It's that.
Oh shit.
Mhm.
I was just about to say that it's kind of like when you're playing the light gun games that have the recoil.
Yeah,
at
exactly.
the arcade.
It's Time Crisis.
Time Crisis. Because you wouldn't believe that it's doing anything if it didn't have any recoil.
Exactly. You wouldn't treat it as a weapon.
You know what? I actually really buy that argument. I 100% believe it. And the ones that don't have recoil are just like they didn't build that feature in.
Or like a veteran.
I'm into it.
Or because they didn't need it or whatever.
You know what? That's
Or they
canon
never
now.
played Time Crisis.
You never played Time Crisis?
I said, or they never played Time Crisis.
Oh, okay. I was going to say we got to get Cody down to the mall. Like stat, get him playing Time Crisis.
Yeah, but it still
I've been to several movie theaters that had it in the lobby for some reason.
It was always Time Crisis and House of the Dead.
Yep.
In the movie theaters.
House of the Dead didn't have recoil.
No, it did not.
House
of the Dead didn't have anything. It was.
I remember House of the Dead when I first encountered it. It was like probably middle school for me, if I were to guess. I remember that was like really, really extreme, and like the gore and everything in that game. And then I go back to it as an adult, and I've seen it like, this is goofy.
Yeah.
This is really stupid.
Oh no, the one that was really extreme was Carnival. Remember Carnival?
Oh Lord. Yep, I remember that one. That was the same. It came out at the same time I was around the Area 51 game.
Yes.
And that was like, yeah, it was in a similar vein. It had the FMV stuff, but Carnival was just all pre-rendered stuff.
Yeah,
and,
Carnival did not have the FMV people in it.
Right. That's Area 51 had the FMV people.
Yes.
Man, what a time to be alive. Like,
remember arcades?
Right. I mean, I'm old enough to remember FMV games on PC and console back in the day. Seventh Guest. That was one. It was really funny because that's another one where it was like when I was really young when I played that, and it was like super, super scary. And then going back to it now, just
this is what I was frightened of.
It's goofy as all get out. Like, it was just a really goofy game.
Back when
having like really, really, yeah, I like it when a game is self-aware enough.
Sincere. It has to be sincere.
Yeah, right.
Like, the people who made House of the Dead fully believed they were making a horror game.
Right.
They were wrong, but they believed it. That's what makes it work.
Right. Well, same with, I don't know, this may be further back than anyone listening to this, but the original Resident Evil on PS1 that had the FMV cutscenes. Yeah. Okay. Like, that's in the same vein. Like,
and that was, and when I was a kid, that was too scary for me.
Absolutely.
I was terrified. I couldn't get past the opening thing because I'd get attacked by a zombie, or the dog,
right?
Chris, and you'd be like, this is so spooky.
Where's Wesker?
Yeah.
I think Carbot just released a Resident Evil 1 animation that is mostly just making fun of Barry.
You almost became a Jill sandwich.
Oh, you, the master of unlocking.
If you haven't watched the Jill sandwich song, it's terrible, but
I
it's
didn't know
old
there was
and
a
it's a classic.
song.
It's mostly just that same line over and over at different tones.
Ah, okay. I've still never beaten Resident Evil 1. Because now that I'm
I liked
older,
one.
I struggle with it so
oh, yeah.
much.
I have really enjoyed the recent renaissance that Resident Evil has kind of gone through.
Oh yeah, they're all great. They've all been fantastic. I have played every one of them, and they are like the 2 remake was great, the 3 remake was good, the 4 remake was fantastic. By all accounts, Resident Evil 9 is great.
Yep.
I cannot wait to see them make Resident Evil 5 because I want to see how they handle the racism.
Oh yeah, that was spicy. I remember when that came out. That was spicy.
Yeah, even at the time, we knew that was bad. Like,
yeah.
Even at the time, we looked at the natives going ooga booga in their masks and going, "Oh,
like this is not okay.
You can't do that, Capcom." And that's before you get to the things people call out as like, deeper racism. Like, oh yeah, the one white guy in the village gets murdered.
Right. My personal favorite, though, is I really like Biohazard 7. That in the Baker house. I think that did such a great job of creating tension, like genuine tension.
I actually started playing that for the first time last month. I'd never played it before.
Oh yeah?
And I really like it when it's not having a boss fight.
Yes, the boss fights are terrible.
They're so bad, and they take me out of it so much. Because yeah,
I totally
the moment
agree.
to moment is fantastic. It's scary, it's creepy, and not just the boss fight. Anytime it tries to be a combat game, it stumbles.
Yes, I 100% agree with that.
Because they were very clearly inspired by Outlast, which is good.
Yes,
and they did it very well. But Outlast worked because it didn't have a gun.
Yes, there was no way to defend yourself in Outlast.
And the moments of, okay, now grab that shotgun and kill 6 molded, it's like, it doesn't feel good.
Right. I totally agree with that.
The tension and the atmosphere are top tier. I love them for that. Ethan is probably the stupidest character in a Resident Evil game.
I don't disagree with you.
And I'm counting all the other characters in Resident Evil, all of whom would normally give you a run for that title, but Ethan just has.
I'm about to say that's a really competitive title.
It is, but I think it goes to Ethan without unanimously.
I can agree with that. I think
he is the most genre unsavvy mofo in the entire thing.
It is pretty incredible. Though, of course, one of my favorite parts, though, is in 8 in Village, when you stick your hand back on after it gets cut off. And it even, and I later realized when I was watching videos about it that it even works with even the sleeve reattaches, and it actually does make sense later in the storyline when you figure out what's going on. But it's hilarious.
My favorite part of RE8 is when you have the boss fight that has Chris helping you, and the boss refers to Chris as the boulder punching.
Yep.
That boulder punching F, and it's just like, I mean, how would that guy know that Chris did that? He wouldn't, but
it's still
they
fun.
Just had to throw it in there.
Yeah, they threw it in there because that was the stupidest part of RE5 was press X to punch the boulder.
I don't know if you played through 9 yet, but I really did enjoy 9.
Nope, I've not played through or even been spoiled on 9 yet.
Okay, so I won't say nothing about it.
Can't quite afford it because I keep blowing all my money on Warhammer.
Well, that's fair.
Priorities.
I mean, bottles last forever, man.
Yeah. So here's the problem. I know what color I want to use for their helmets. I don't have it.
Uh-huh.
It's P3's coal black,
Okay.
which is a perfect
Yeah, that.
black green. It is the Steel Legion helmet color. I need to order it offline. So his helmet we'll get back to. Looking at these guys, I think the webbing color should stay on the webbing. The yellow is just too bright for the armor.
Okay.
However, I'm still going to integrate this color into him. We might put it on his belt and stuff, which is what his actually historically is what it would be, because it was their webbing, right?
Right.
And then British armor is kind of that. I mean, granted, I'm taking from British tank armor, but
Yeah,
it's functionally a slightly more green olive drab.
Look, Ultramarines paint their tanks bright blue, so I don't know what you want. It's
Oh yeah, and I'm not painting the tanks this brown mid battle dress.
and I have always liked that about Guard that they've done is that they have done a good job of making it, at least in their paint schemes, of where the tanks don't necessarily match the armor that the guys are wearing.
Yeah, but it
And
still works.
unlike everything else in 40K. Yeah, it
Yeah.
absolutely does. And like everywhere else in 40K, the tanks are 1-for-1 matching the armor of the dudes that ride in them. But for Guard, they don't always do that, and I think that's really cool.
Although they've kind of gotten back into doing it more, which I think is to its detriment. Like the stuff they painted for Armageddon is just in Cadian. It's in full Cadian green.
Oh, you're right. Yes,
You'll
it
notice
is.
that the Centaur RSVs and the Hippogriffs are all just full Cadian green. They didn't paint any camo on them, which I think is a mistake. I think you should paint that really simple camo. I think that makes Guard tanks tick.
Yeah, I agree with that. Actually, I
Wow.
did not notice that, but you are correct.
I am really liking the way this guy's coming together. This Dr. Time Man.
Nice.
I need to figure out what color
Yeah,
I
I
want
think
to
they
paint his...
started back on the Cadian drab with the Dorn.
Yes, they did. The Dorn is the
Dorn's
same way,
just got the flat green.
which is boring. I need to figure out how to paint this doctor guy's armor. So I don't know if I want to paint his armor like a black, like it's rubber. I think that would make the most sense, like a hazmat suit.
I think I would agree with that. Like, you can even go crazy and do some high vis with orange or something.
So originally that's what he had, and I hated it.
Okay.
Originally this guy was a mining
enough.
guy, and he had a high vis armor, and it didn't like it.
Okay.
Daniel says we're back to you having a paint problem, and that problem is not owning enough paints. Yep. That's a reference to a Discord discussion we'd had where it's like, yeah, you have a problem buying paints. You don't have enough of them. I like this guy. Yeah, the handheld mining laser. This is if you can't tell, this is a melt-a-gun with a mining laser nozzle stuck to the front. For those of you asking.
Hey, if we know anything about 40K, the only thing that matters is what's on the muzzle of the weapon.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, and it's Necromunda. It does not matter. Like,
Right.
Now I could go with a different green color for the armor. I guess I don't have to stick in the British set. I've got
You don't
Commando
have to.
green, which is a kind of a teal. Let's see how this works. Or not teal. This is a turquoise. Like a very dark turquoise. I'm looking at that right now and going, that's not going to work, but we're going to try it. See what happens.
I'm doing the pre-shading for my green glow right now on my Hellsmiths. Getting that white deep in there, and that's going to take a while to dry because it's very liquidy right now. But it's one of my favorite things to do on these models is the green glow.
And it makes them work.
I like to use... Yeah. My favorite is I use the Pro Acryl fluorescent green. I really, really like Pro Acryl's fluorescent colors.
I've heard they're fantastic.
They really
I've
work
heard
very
they're some
well.
of the best fluorescents. I've never worked with them. That's like the only Pro Acryl pants I don't own is the fluorescents.
Yeah, they're kind of a weird gel consistency, but they cover extremely evenly, and over white, it does an amazing job of doing that glow effect. I really like them.
I painted an entire orc with only using them.
I remember.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let me grab him real quick.
It was actually kind of. I remember that guy. He was cool. Actually, okay. So this dark turquoise is actually working better than I thought it would against the battle dress. I'm not gonna use this as the armor color, but I kind of want to integrate this into. It's called Commando Green, so I think maybe this will be the color for like Scions or Kazarkin.
Ooh. And I always like having Scions be. So, are you going to do Scions or are you going to do Kazarkin?
I'm gonna have both.
Okay, fair enough.
Two different models. They were.
I
have sets of both. So. Ooh. There you go. Yeah, that is
my weird boy.
Colored man or orc rather.
This is supposed to be the Grot leader, but I thought he looked weird, so he's my weird boy because this was before we knew weird boys were coming.
Oh, right.
And he's very gay.
You know what? That orcs are one of those places where orcs and Slanesh are the two places you can do extraordinarily garish, and it's a-okay. And I mean, you can do extraordinary garish on anything, and it's fine. But it's where it really like it can fit in as part of like the character of the army. So I like it.
He looks like a skating rink under a black light. And some of the colors, like, they actually mix pretty well. Like, I got this weird rusty color from mixing, I think, the purple and orange.
Okay, that's a really solid color. I really like that.
But it was a fun little project.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never been really great with bright colors. I try. I think my Votan are probably the best example I have of me trying to go bright with something, and I did a pretty good job. The red looks good, but all my other armies are on the darker side, and I'm trying to do yellow for my. I guess my Cruel Boys have a lot of color, but
yeah, they do.
That's kind of a separate project altogether. But my Iron Jaws, I really want to do the yellow armor. And that is proving to be not a whole lot of fun.
Well, are you painting it over black like a madman?
Yep, sure am.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, look, I'm not saying those two statements are related, but... real quick, Otaku Cat says, "Hi everyone, did we already talk about Fast and Furious Necromunda Edition?" We kind of did, in the sense that we acknowledge it exists, and we are planning. Schemes are scheming. Cody and Kevin have not yet read the rules fully, but
I have not.
We will be doing a video on that very shortly. We'll film it next week, and then it'll go up afterwards, where we will all talk about it. I mean, I don't even know who we're doing that video with, but I think we all have opinions.
Somebody's gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
All right, these are dry. Let's go ahead and put that in. Yeah.
You know, it's a good thing that Fiverr isn't on this stream because they would kill me for using all these drab colors. They kept calling.
Well, going back to the P3 color, you're talking about. Have you seen Brent's rant on P3's Coal Black?
No.
No, I haven't.
Is it recent?
No. It's. I think it's when they first started talking about redoing the P3 line.
That was the one where he was talking about the fact that the name didn't mean anything.
Well, the name doesn't match coal, and then he like broke down the molecular structure of coal and why it was a different color, and it was just it was pretty funny.
I mean, cool story, Brent. I don't care. I mean, like I say that with love, but yes, it is a dumb name. Great paint though.
Yeah,
it's anthracite.
I haven't tried P3 new or old, so.
I think I mentioned I have them, right, and I painted with them. They're really nice. This blue.
I think you used some a couple weeks ago on the stream.
Yes, I did. This blue is this lady right here, this Segnar blue, and I really like it. I like the paints.
Segnar blue is one of my favorite colors from that line.
Okay, well, I discovered it, and I understand why you would say that, because, yeah, I really like that blue.
And it's funny that you mentioned the coal black, because that was one of my favorite black adjacent colors. Was their P3's coal black?
Coal black, I think, is
Um,
just a famous color, right? Like, I think a lot of people like that one for very good reason.
yeah. Okay, let that dry, and then I'll just touch it up.
Uh-oh. I lost my swatch top for these paints because I shook too hard. Well, I guess I'll find that later, or I'll print another one. Yes, if I want to go really boring, I'll use dark olive, which is just the most drab gray color on top of that already super drab mid-battle dress, right?
You know, it sometimes
Here's the thing, it would work.
you get right. There is some elegance in the subtlety that you can achieve with stuff like that. So
There is absolutely a universe in which I paint these guys like this and then like pick a pop color to pop something like on a if they had like a scarf or a bandana, that would make it work.
Ooh, yeah, that's a really good idea. Yeah.
But I am not sculpting scarves and bandanas on that many guardsmen. So
You should sculpt beards.
yeah, sure. On top of the Steel Legion masks.
Yeah, why not? The beard filter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, I don't see what the problem is.
Look like me whenever I airbrush.
I think I do like this webbing green, but I think I need... I think that's the top color. I need a deeper green to go underneath it. Gotta realize
This is
I
my
don't have a
favorite
lot of...
part of painting these Hellsmiths is the Nuln oil that I put over some of the metallics.
I do still like my Nuln oil. It is a good wash.
It's a great wash. It's nearly flawless.
See the new narrative rules for the Yurek called Armor Gauntlet? Yeah, I sure did. I don't know if anyone else is excited about that as me, but I am pumped for that. Because I love tanks. And tank-on-tank battles.
Excited to give it a try.
Finally, my 6
about it.
human Russes will go to use.
I might have a reason to finish my 3rd hecaton.
Yeah.
If I have enough Death Guard tanks, I can make that happen. I can make that work.
Oh, sure.
We got Predators for days, because I've been collecting that army for damn near 20 years.
So many Predators. So what time?
I mean, it's Death Guard, so it's just, you know, it's green and it's got slime on it, so it's Death Guard now.
Yeah, I really should grab
Great.
these Poxwalkers I've got and just, like, slap green on them when I'm waiting for other things to dry.
Yeah. That's just about all you need to do.
Because it doesn't even have to be the same green.
No, not even. They're just a random gaggle of zombies. Do whatever you feel like.
I could use these to test my green colors. Like, here we go. Let's get a Poxwalker out. Let's put this green on him. Green him up. Right over the black.
That almost.
I know you guys got 15 minutes left on stream, but I do have to hop out.
Hey,
I
Cody.
have to go pick up my wife from her class.
All right. I will see you
Well, thank
later,
you.
Cody.
See you guys later. Everybody in chat, thank you for stopping by and hanging out.
Goodbye.
All right, see you later.
See ya. I'm not gonna shut down the screen.
Now it's just me and Josh.
They could just be blank for a bit. I'm not.
Yeah, just leave it there. It's fine. Yeah.
All right. I wasn't sure if I was going until 9 or 10 or night tonight, but 2 hours is probably good.
Yeah, I think so. It's bold of you to assume people want more of us than that.
Yeah, we got a microdose minis rundown.
You just want mild hallucinations.
Yeah. I don't think that was a microdose, Timmy.
Just very, very gently. I've exposed my daughter to Bob Ross. We were watching that for a while, and which is a very, very stark contrast to the fare that's out there for kids these days.
Yeah, we're just
And
ADHD city.
she really liked it. I really enjoy watching Bob Ross.
You know, I've not actually watched a lot of Bob Ross. I really should.
He's really fun to watch. It's really fun to see him just like, I mean, he creates a whole ass painting in 20 minutes and looks nice. And he's like, and the whole time he just encourages you. He's like, you can do this too. This is so easy. You just gotta do this. I take a lot of my cues from how I teach people how to paint from him. It's like, yeah, looks great.
Yeah.
So easy.
And it is actually not that hard.
It is not. And that it's so you know, of course, for the people who don't know, I help run the Age of Sigmar stuff here locally, and we get new people often enough. And one of the big things that intimidates people is, of course, is painting miniatures. And you know, my big thing is it is intimidating, and I understand that. But once you break it down to like the steps you need to actually like get a miniature done and on the table and looking good, it ain't hard at all.
Yeah, it's not nearly as difficult as one would assume.
And it's really interesting because I was recently reading some things from people talking about painting miniatures, and one of the things that they were talking about was that one of the problems with miniature painting nowadays is the influence that social media does have over the hobby, and
Yes.
where people see all these amazing things that people are painting, and they are painting amazing things out there, and it causes people to kind of like be paralyzed and like, well, I can't paint like that, so I'm not going to paint at all.
Yep. That is the only real downside to the painting community, is that it is very easy to look at all these amazing painters who can be amazingly supportive people themselves. But you look at
Yes,
them,
absolutely.
and if you ask them, they'll go, "Oh, you could paint like this." But if you don't ask them, they'll go, "Well, I can't paint like that."
Right. Yeah, and that's absolutely true what you said, because you talk to, I would say, probably 18 out of 20 of those expert level painters, and they will, talk your ear off, and they would be glad to sit down with you if they have the time to do that, to show you some tricks.
Yeah, basically
And
every single one of them would tell you in a heartbeat that you can do it with enough time and practice.
right, which is awesome. But the thing is that if you're just doom scrolling, that's not the thing that you see,
Right.
and that's not the thing that you experience. So you end up just seeing all this amazing paint and work that takes even these people, who are these Golden Demon, Crystal Brush winning painters, and it takes them hundreds of hours to produce a miniature that looks like what you're seeing. And the fact of the matter is, it just doesn't take that much work to make a miniature that looks good on the not just passable, but looks legitimately good on the tabletop.
Yeah. And
Like,
those painters will also tell you that like the last 10% is 90% of the time.
right.
And if you're not
Oh, that's
going for
100.
that
Yeah.
last 10%, you don't need to do that.
Yep. So that's always one of the encouraging things that I try to instill in our players when we get new players, and especially when we get players that are new to the hobby itself. I've had a couple of those over the years where they just need a little bit of an encouragement, a little bit of a push to just get painting. And you know what? Literally just about anything looks great at arm's distance on the table next to a bunch of terrain.
Just paint. Just get
Yep.
the paint on there.
And the thing of it too is that it's a learned process. It's a skill that you develop over time. It is not something that now some people will start out and be better, like have a better starting place than other people will, but for everybody, it's a skill that you develop over time, and you're not going to be an expert at it right away. You know, everyone's first miniatures are going to look like their first miniatures, and that's fine.
Yeah, like and you know, it's not a skill with a lot of transferability from other things.
Nope, absolutely. Like I mean, literally the closest thing, and this is how I kind of convinced my wife how, you know, to start painting, is that the closest thing is paint by number.
Right.
And like, and which, you know, everyone kind of, you know, scoffs at paint by number. Oh, it's just, you know, whatever. But like literally a lot of the things that you would apply to miniature painting, you learn in paint by number. Like this object is this color. This, you know, that, and that's all you really need. Like
Right.
shading and highlighting and stuff just comes later.
Yeah, and shading, especially nowadays, shading is just, you know, the most easy.
Oh yeah, it's just a
Like
step.
you just
Like
slap a wash on there, and they will. And people call it liquid talent for a reason. Like, yeah, you know, if you wanted to look like perfect, there's some steps you gotta take, and you know, mixing and blah blah blah. But if you just want something to look a little bit better with almost no effort,
yep, a little bit of Agrex or shade or Nuln Oil will solve a lot of problems.
so as I paint these guys, I'm actually kind of thinking that I kind of want to do coal black as the armor color all around.
I think that would be a good compliment.
Like a really dark green black.
Mm-hmm.
I painted the darkest green I
Yeah.
can on this guy, and I actually really like it.
Yeah, I think that because you have those mid brown range tones, and then I think that would kind of add more contrast.
Yep. So I'm gonna play with it more because I do also want to try the webbing out. Because I don't want to wait until I get coal black in the mail though.
Right?
But you know, I guess I
Speaking
could
of
because I do
Tinder.
have a billion other things I could paint. Like, it is
Yeah,
not the end
same
of the world.
here. I'm just trying to get my Hellsmiths. I've been breaking my rule where I've been playing with them unpainted.
Mitchell told me
Much to
about
my
that, and I was like,
shame.
"Are you sure that was actually Kevin, and not like a doppelganger?" Like,
But I've just had so little free time, and I really wanted to play this army, and so I've been playing with it unpainted, and it has been a humbling experience for myself.
kills you inside every
That
time.
it does a little bit. It makes me a little bit more bitter and hateful, which is perfect for the army. I mean,
Yeah. Thematic.
I'm adopting the Hellsmith attitude, which isn't good, guys. Do not do that. It's not healthy.
Be hateful, be bitter, blame others for your problems.
Hey, but I'll say one thing about Hellsmiths. There's 0% of unemployment. It's
We're getting too real again. Yeah, see, when I put like just black armor on those guys, insta boring, right? Like just boring, boring town,
Yeah.
boring city.
But just being a little bit off black there is.
Right.
Speaking of, I'm starting these gems.
Which, yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any. I don't have anything. Well, because like this dark olive actually looks kind of interesting, because it's like the olive does have some, you know, color to it.
It does. But I feel like it's on a similar tonal level to the rest of the model.
It is.
And
I'm gonna grab.
start those. Yeah, we're getting there. Reckhearth flesh.
Grab a green wash
Ooh.
and see if I can tint this olive.
Just take it down a notch.
Right. Well, I'm gonna see if I can green it up a notch. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got Bell Tan green. That might actually not be enough.
Yeah, BL10. I might do Koala Green Shade.
Yeah.
That might be the one I would go with.
I have somewhere. I have a Thonian Camo Shade. The Camo Shade actually might be the better thing to go to as well.
Oh yeah, that's very it's very complimentary. To what you got going on.
Let's see what we can do here. That one's a no. No, that won't work.
Get these Hellsmith lips.
Oh, I lost audio.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I got it back.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
It might be double
Okay,
because
great.
my headphones crashed or something.
Oh, okay. Well, you need to get better headphones. That's the solution.
I actually do. I have better headphones. I just need to get them. Don't worry, tomorrow's payday, so.
Yep.
So let's. Oh, see, like, look at, like, okay, so. Put green over that olive there.
Mm.
And you get this super dark.
Yeah, I think that will help give you what you're looking for. You're getting a little bit more separation between the armor and everything else.
I'm more or less kind of making my own coal black. Kind of.
Fair. You know what? Fair. Now the trick is just making sure you remember that formula.
Oh, I'm gonna.
You have a notebook that you keep stuff in, or
I
do you just
don't.
remember?
Although I do, I could always watch this in this VOD if I.
Oh, you know what? Fair. I asked because that's how Cheryl keeps track of her
Yeah.
colors. I don't know if you've ever seen her notebook or not.
I've never seen it, but she has told me about it. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna actually. I put this black down. I'm gonna try putting the camo shade over the black, and seeing what that does.
Daring.
I could also go with an off black like the Ironclad Gray or the AK Tenebris Gray. And,
I haven't used any AK colors yet.
I kind of avoided buying AK stuff for a while because they were, doing really weird stuff.
Right.
With their marketing. But I do have a set from way back when, 3rd gen. They're fine. I would rate them as about the equal of Fanatics or Monument or Citadel.
Okay.
But I don't know if they do anything that those paints don't do.
Understood.
However, they do have this one color called Tenebris Gray, which is like this really close to black but not quite, which is handy. However, the Army Painter recently came out in the John Blanche sets with this Ironclad Gray, which is basically the same thing. So.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, folks, it is 9 o'clock on the dot. So I think we're going to wrap it up here.
I believe so.
Thank you all so much for coming and chatting with us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, guys.
If you're watching from the VODs, hello. If you made it all the way to the end of the VOD, thank you. If you want to chat with us more off stream, we have a Discord. It is linked below. It is free to join, as long as you're not a bot, in which case we'll find out and nuke you from orbit very quickly. So we will be streaming again. I don't know whom, but at least me will be streaming again this Sunday at 1 p.m. EST. You're welcome to join us for that. That's more of our Euro crowd. And stay tuned because we've got some great stuff coming out for Necromunda and 40K and Adepticon even this coming week. So talk to you all later.
And quite a bit more AOS content as well.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yes, you've recorded some AOS. Yeah.
Yes.
So we've got a whole bunch of bevy of stuff coming up. Thanks for joining, everybody. We will see you all another time.
Goodbye.
All right. Stream is over.
All right.
Okay.
Well done.
Well, thank you.